Okay, so with 12.1, a lot of API changes came specifically to auras, so like tracking buffs and debuffs. So this means this is basically the removal of what was previously private auras. This is now split into two different sections, one to actually track buffs and debuffs and one for sounds. I'll first go through tracking them. You see the UI on everything new I make is pretty similar to how you've known it from the encounter alerts, so I think it should be intuitive at least. There will be 3 built-in ones that you can see here. This player debuffs and co-tank debuffs. It is essentially like the private aura display in the past. It even copies your current settings from private auras. There are some new settings though, like Blizzard allows a lot more customization now. I won't go through all of these, but like you typically have a tooltip when you mouse over them as well that explains it. Yeah, you can like change each individual thing now. And then additionally, I imagine a lot of add-ons will do this, but you can create your own trackings. You can do some spell ID filtering now. Like this is restricted. It's written here as well. You can only do spell ID filtering for buffs on friendly units or debuffs on enemy units. Otherwise, you are limited to aura filters, right? Like dispellable stuff, crowd control. They made some new ones, candidate filters, where you get some more options. And yeah, you can go through these and maybe create your own stuff like I have now. This is basically like I had weak auras in the past, like all speed buffs in a dynamic group, bloodlusts, defensives, taunt, like all taunts on an enemy. Yeah. You can check like this one. You might need to check if you're tracking player, it's fine, it doesn't matter. But if you're tracking a unit that can either be enemy or friendly, for example, here on Taunt, I'm tracking target, you might want to specify this. It kind of depends. Like automatic just means the add-on tries to guess what makes sense. But if it's like very specific, you need to select this because otherwise the spell ID list, because like say you want to track a buff on a friendly unit, but then you're targeting an enemy unit, and then the container doesn't really know what to do with it, and it will just display everything if you don't set this correctly. You can also do load, like only load stuff specifically for roles, classes, specs, whatever. Same menu as from encounter alerts. Yeah. Maybe one last thing, like in the preview right now, you see the name here. This is a setting that is in here. Which one is it? I don't even know. Show source name. Yeah, I see. I type it in the tooltip as well. This will come in the next patch, 12.1.5. Blizzard will not manage to implement this in time, but the setting is already there, and then I will just update the code to make it work with this setting. It does work for co-tank, because here the add-on knows which unit it is tracking, but on here it can't know who applied the aura yet, but it will come in the future. Yeah, next we have aura sounds. Wait, let me disable this. It's basically like the private aura sound in the past, just I think a bit nicer UI. You can select the boss here. These are all the default sounds that I have added. This is the same setting as before. It also should be using your current setting. If you already enabled this in the previous version, it should already be enabled. Right here in the pre-made ones, you can change the sound, but you cannot change the unit ID or event type. But you can always create your own one if for some reason, I don't know, say this debuff, I want a sound when it gets removed, for example, because I don't know, when the debuff is removed, I need to move, right? I can do that now.
Move.
At this, and now this plays on removing, like when you lose the debuff. You can also track a different unit. You could track, I don't know, you can enter a specific name here as well. The add-on will resolve that to the correct unit ID. You could also type co-tank, that also works, by the way. And the add-on will do it for anything that is not you. Or you can also do rate 1 for whatever reason. Right, like anything that's like a unit ID does work here, or a player name. Yeah, if you ever make a change here, you can also reset it. You can reset the whole boss. The same exists for dungeons. I haven't done this yet, but yeah, as always, dungeons are probably less maintained than raid, but it will be there. The separate setting here, and there's custom as well. You can, I don't know, say you want something for a mage, like I don't know play this, but like you could make sound, like literally any buff or debuff allows making a sound now, not just private hours in the past. Anything that's rotational, whatever, you could put all of this in here. Yeah, and just you can even like select it at the event now, which wasn't possible in the past. Apply it, removed, or whenever you gain a new stack. I also added a sound channel here, by the way. I think for most people it just makes sense to stay on master, but if for some reason you want like extra control with the volume, that exists as well. Yeah, there's a right-click menu, by the way. This doesn't, but yeah. One thing maybe which is relevant for aura checking and aura sounds, Blizzard added this this thing here. You can now add the spell ID to the tooltip. This is a SIVA, but the SIVA resets on every login or reload or whatever. So if you toggle this here, the add-on will just set the SIVA to true on every reload. So you always have this. It's just makes it much easier to find what you want to track. Then one new feature is on the timeline, which probably people didn't even know this exists, but it exists. You can now move stuff. Yeah, you can just drag and drop it. It changes the actual node. Yeah. So I have a node here. This one. I think this is the PI here. If I move this, it doesn't update instantly here, but like the point is it does update the node. Yeah, it's here now. This one is updated now. So this is how it does it, just so you know. It doesn't like change something internally or whatever, or like overrides. It literally just overrides the node. So like you have to select which node you're editing here. You can also create new nodes from here. You can right click to edit the reminder. Yeah, like change duration, text, glow unit, whatever. Pick a different spell. This is just all from spellbook. It's not like filtered out. There's a lot of useless stuff, but it has a search as well. If I want, I don't know, anti-magic zone, I can have it here. That's there. Yeah, you can add new stuff. Right click. I wouldn't like recommend making your full reminders through this, but it's like nice if you have a node from WoW utils, and then mid proc you notice something is like slightly off. You can just change it here instead of having to go to the website, export it again, and so on. It's just a quick change. But I mean, if you really want, you could. Oh, well, I broke it. That's great. I have to fix that. But yeah, you could, if you wanted to, like do a full node through this, but I don't really recommend it because WoW Utils is just better for that. And then one last feature. This is the pace comparison. Probably not relevant for a lot of people, but I just wanted to mention it. Remember how maybe in the past I had a weak aura for like showing you how far ahead you are on a boss. I'm just showing an example from Dimensius. See this green number up here? Just showing you how far ahead of the damage check you are. This is just manually entered values basically. And then it just calculates all the time if you're ahead or not and by how much. This does work now, but it can only show the percentage here and not the real HP. And I gotta warn you. I don't think it didn't appear to be a problem for performance, but the way this is done is a very scuffed way. Because basically it creates 100 font strings for each increment, like -5 to +5%, and then it colors them based on the real boss HP, because the boss HP is a secret value, so you can't actually compare it to anything, but you can feed it into a color curve, which then makes all non-relevant font strings hidden and only shows the relevant one. So yes, it is very scuffed, but it's the only way I was able to complete this. At least I couldn't think of anything else. Yeah, a lot of people like to have this. You can edit the display here. Yeah, not a lot of settings, but like not much you can need. Enable them here, disable. By default, it's all just disabled. You can export it. You can import it. Probably WoW Utils is gonna add a functionality as well to add boss data here, because right now, like, the process of adding your own stuff would be very like difficult. Yeah, you have to like enter each thing here as well. Say like, I don't know, after 20 seconds, this one is supposed to be at 85% or something, right? And then you just keep adding here. Right, this is how you would do your own stuff. But I will also provide like default values, probably not for the first bosses, but maybe like from like Vashnik and Zorak on or something. There will be default values, and these will just be whatever Liquid had on their kill, I imagine. Yeah, you can edit them later, but yeah. If there's ever multiple bosses, that also works. You can see this, it just displays each boss separately. And yeah, I believe that is it. The UI might still change a little bit. Like, don't be surprised if what you see here is not exactly what is gonna be on live. But I think it should be close now. There's also, it's not a bug. I was on custom. Never mind. Yeah. Encounter alerts for season 2 should already be here as well. Whenever you get the patch, obviously, like in heroic and like early mythic, stuff will be a bit off probably, because it's not always exactly like it was in PTR. But I will try to update this ASAP. Oh yeah, the pace comparison, by the way, it's mythic only. I forgot to mention that, but yeah, this is mythic only. Okay, if you have any questions, write it in the comments.